Hey, it's Bina. Today I'm going to be talking about two main ways you could use to practice loving yourself. For most people find it difficult to practice the self-love because one, they're either focusing too much on all the negative about themselves, all the bad things about themselves. They focus too much on the small details of their appearance. While the second way is people tend to not look at all the good things about themselves. They don't tend to see the good in them, but only focus on all the bad things, all the negative things about themselves. Okay, I kind of made it a little complicated, but I'm gonna explain a little more. So my first two ways to love yourself. One is to ignore all the bad things you see, bad things you pay way too much attention to. While the other one is you focus on all the good things about yourself. And when I say that, I'm gonna go more in detail. So ignoring all the bad things would be whenever you look into the mirror. Some people tend to focus too much on the small detail of their appearance. Or like they'd be like, oh, my ears are too big. Or my lips are too small, or something like that. What they could do is, rather than think all the negative things about the stuff they think is a bad feature on themselves, they could reverse it by thinking, instead of looking at it as my ears are too big, they could rather look at it as my ears are at the right size to be able to hear so well. This is the reason why I can hear better than other people. And rather than looking at it as a bad thing, they put a positive light into it. Okay, I think some people might not like that example, so I'm gonna give another example. Another example would be like, oh, my eyes are too dark, too black. My eyes, I wish I had a different color, maybe a lighter colored eye. Instead, they could rather focus on the good thing about having black eyes, dark colored eyes. Like, you can, when you look into somebody that had dark colored eyes, they usually have really deep eyes. Their eyes are always deep. Like, you could feel like just staring at them, you feel like they could read you. So you feel really connected. People, when they look into people with dark colored eyes, tend to feel more open and vulnerable. The way you could see your own reflection inside your dark eyes just by looking into the mirror is something else. You're gonna, rather than hate it, the more you focus on how great it is, you're gonna realize how much falling in love with your dark colored eyes. So you could look at it like that instead of seeing it as a bad thing. That's number one. Ignore all the negative aspects you think you have. Most people just see everybody, and I'm saying everybody, see themselves less than what other people would see them as. So for people that tend to focus too much on the small details, ignore them. Act like they're not there. Only focus on the positives. If you can turn the negatives into positives, just only focus on the positive. The ones that you do like about your appearance. The type of personality you do like about yourself. It not only just appearance, it also goes into your personality. Some people tend to hate how they are, how they act, how they socialize. Try to see the good in how you interact with other people is a good thing. How what being you have brought, the type of people your personality have brought into your life, and what you have learned, grown, and how much you have grown through your personality and all that stuff, and your social interactions with other people. Just, that's what I think. I think you should focus more on the good things, the good aspects. It's okay to realize the bad traits of your personality, or how you socialize with other people, or how you interact with other people. It's okay to like recognize it and try to grow from it. But if those aspects that you insecure about is not affecting other people or your day-to-day, I don't think there's no reason to focus too much into that aspect of yourself, or whether it's appearance or personality. Now focusing on number two. Number two is focus on all the small details about yourself. Some people how there's one type of people we will look at the small details. There's another type of people that will look at the whole picture. It's the same way as how some people would think in a grand picture about the things they learn or the things about an idea. They have one perspective, while there's other people out there that's like focus on different type of topics. It's the same with looking at your imperfections, your insecurities. So rather than like when people look into the mirror, they might be like, oh my god, I am bad looking or I'm ugly. Rather than thinking about that, you could instead focus on the small details, whether it's in your appearance or your personality. The whole point of focusing on small details about yourself is try to focus on affirmations. Affirmations is when you say things like, I love myself, I am smart, I am wise, I am understanding, as well as complimenting yourself over things you have done. Like all the accomplishment you have done in the past, compliment yourself for that. Using affirmations about yourself. All that helps. And the grand thing that I always, for both ways to love yourself, one thing I recommend is writing how you feel about yourself. The days when you feel the greatest about yourself, write it down. And then when it comes to those days that you are in the worst type of days, you feel the worst, that's when you go back in that notebook or that journal, and then you read to yourself back. You should read to yourself of a time when you were happy, when you were proud of yourself, when you were smart enough, when you were able enough, a time when you were confident enough to succeed in anything that you put your mind into. And then that will remind you, that journal will bring back memories of the times you were good. And for me, it helps so much, especially when I'm in a bad mood, when I'm having those bad days. I look back to my journal that I have written and read out all the times that I have had a good day, and go back in my memories of how great life could be. Another recommendation I could give is meditation. Meditating and visualizing a safe place for you, place that you feel like you would be happy at. It could be a beach, it could be the woods, it could be the forest, or it could be with people. It could be with certain people. It doesn't always have to be a place. Some people, the happiness is a place. Some people, the happiness is with certain type of group of people or a certain person. Visualize a moment with them or at that location. Meditation is one of the greatest things you could learn to help focus more on yourself. It's one of the great things you could use to relax. If you have anxiety or is nervous, meditation is one of the best solutions. There's studies about it. Check it out. Anyway, that's about it for my video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.